Boom! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, Manuel here from Bali. And in this video, I want to tell you some basics about photography, how to use the camera in manual mode, and to explain all these things that we don't know at the first time. The things I wish I knew when I got the first camera. So this is my baby. This is beautiful A7 IV with a beautiful lens, and it's extensible. So let's see from the basics, like you never had a camera in your hand. So first thing you have to know, this is like $4,000. Expensive. You can tell not only because it's very heavy, but because the model of the camera is the A7 IV, is quite recent. It's a hybrid camera, which means it can take both good pictures and good videos. And the lens is very important. It's very expensive. In these full frame cameras, you see, full frame, like those big camera with a removable lens. The lens, I guess, is the most important part. The lens is something you buy once and will last for years and years. And the camera is like the hardware part, is important as well, but it will be eventually replaced in time with better models while the lens is gonna stay. So I prefer to invest a lot in lenses, not have many lenses, but if I buy a lens, is a G Master lens, is the best lens from Sony, which I believe makes very good lenses. So let's start with lenses today. What is a lens and what should you know about a lens? So what I have here is a 85mm prime lens from Sony. Let's see what does it mean, 85mm. A lens has two values. Is the millimeters, which could be 35, 50, 85, 100mm. And the millimeters show mean how zoom is the image. So let's make this example to easily remember that. So our eyesight is 50mm, more or less. So any lens in 50mm will have a vision, an image, which is more or less the same field of view of our eyes, while a lens with over 50mm will be like a zoom lens, will zoom in into the image. For example, if you're going to a safari to take pictures of lions, you may use a 200mm lens, which is a telescopic lens. It's very long and takes very good zoom images. On the other hand, below 50mm, you're gonna have like a zoom out. So it's a wide angle lens, which will increase the field of view compared to the eye. It's the same as your phone, like 0.5x is a wide angle, while 2x is a zoom lens. If a lens has a fixed number, let's say like this is a 85mm, so it means it's zoomed, and it's not like 24/70 like this. This is a 24/70 lens because it is a variable zoom, 24/70, 24/70. It can go all in from 70, 60, 50, 40, and 24. So in 24 is very zoom out, so wide angle. In 50 is more or less the same you see with your eye, and 70 is more zoomed in. Okay, so this is the difference between a prime lens, fixed the amount of millimeters, and zoom lens, not fixed, variable. So why on earth would somebody choose a fixed lens when you could have this holy glory movable lens? Well, because now there's another thing. The aperture. The aperture is the pupil of the lens. You can see here in this lens is very visible. This hole is like a pupil and can really open and close. When it's very open, a lot of light can enter in the lens, so your image will be brighter, or you can have a bright image in a very fast way. So you can take a very quick picture, for example, of a moving subject. And the best part is the background will be beautifully blurred, and that's called a bokeh. So usually a prime lens like this can have a much bigger aperture. It means better blurred background and much better in low light conditions, so nighttime. Long story short, use the prime lens for nighttime and for blurry backgrounds. and this is an 85, so it's zoomed in. What does it mean? What's the difference? Well, when it's zoomed in, it's much better for portrait. Like, people naturally look better when they're zoomed in. Try with your phone, take a photo of something in 1x and try again with 2x or 5x. You'll see the persons just look better when they're zoomed in. I don't know why, but that's it. So that's the secret. Like, if you want to shoot a wedding or a model, use a zoomed lens like the 85 millimeters. But this, since it's moving, it's quite hard to make it with a very big pupil like this. This pupil can go very big, and let's introduce a new concept here. The pupil size is technically called aperture, and it can go from 1.2 to 22. It's the opposite concept. 1.2, which is a very low number, means a very big aperture. Yeah, I don't know, doesn't make sense, but it's like this. And f22, which is a very big number, it's for small aperture. So this one can have f1.4, which is a very good value. It's a low aperture value, which means it's a very big pupil, which means, and there's a lot of light, so it's good at sunset and in low light conditions, and makes a very good background bokeh. This one is much more practical when you run and gun, because you don't need to walk close or far away from your subject. You can just move this and we'll zoom in or zoom out while you're comfortably staying in the same place. So it's good for framing. But the other hand is the aperture doesn't go below 2.8. Yes, which is still a good value. But you see, for example, at sunset, this lens struggles because of the poor lighting, while this just doesn't even feel it. Of course, since we have a very good camera, we can crank up the ISO, which we'll see in another video, which basically compensates the fact that not much light enters from the lens. So we just manually brighten up the image. So far, we talk about the millimeters and the aperture of the lens. What else can we say about the lens? I think that it's enough for today. That's it.